Hi everyone, welcome to the fifth and final card in January's Trusty Tool card class. Thank you so much for everyone who's taken part this month. It's been a real joy to bring you these cards. As always, if anyone has any comments, questions, please do get in touch. Everything that I've used to make these cards is still available to purchase throughout the months of January and February 2024 at the moment. The papers are available for free when you place a £45 order. So the great thing about this set is when you order the Stampin dies together as a bundle, you can automatically choose the papers for free. So I really would urge you to get those ordered in case they should go out of stock. Now, for the fifth card in this set, I've created a pop-up style card, and I really hope you're going to enjoy putting this together. I've designed mine as a Father's Day card, but you could easily switch these out to be a birthday card or any occasion, really. I'm just going to adjust my camera slightly. That's better. Okay, sorry, I had a little bit of a wobble there on my screen. That's better. Okay, so to make this card, everything you need is in the measurement guide. You're going to need your trimmer out for a little while with your scoring tool and your trimming blade in. If you're following along at home, in your die cut pack, you will have two of these toolbox edge dies. So just pop out those last little stubborn pieces. So you'll have two of those. You'll also have two handles, like so. You will have a piece of grey card cut for you. That's for your sentiment on the front. You're going to need to cut two little pieces like this from the Sweet Sorbet card. Measurements all in the guide. You're going to need a piece of DSP that looks like this. We're going to cut this up, and then you've got a piece, your card base, which is cut from Sweet Sorbet, and you will have your inner piece like so. Okay. So we're going to start by putting this together. I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to do the front, and then I'm going to do the inside mechanism. So put all of that to one side. So you're just going to need your grey piece, your grey handle, and put that side so that is in shot. And you'll need this piece. Now this piece, you'll notice, or you may not notice because it's difficult to see, I've cut this into three different sections to kind of create drawers. So you're going to need to cut this down. All right. Now there's no measurements. You're basically going to use, let me use my other trimmer. That's it needs a bit of a tidy. This is better. Okay. So you're going to basically use these grey lines as your cutting line. Okay. So the grey lines for me form the bottom of the drawer. So the first two, I've got two big areas here, and you may wish to change this around depending on your card. So cut that down. So they are my two bottom drawers. I've then got these two little drawers here. Like so. And then I've got this big drawer. Like so. So all you can do is, if you want, you can just change them around. So I think I'm going to change that ever so slightly. Let's see how big these are. So that's there, that's there. Yeah, so that's a little bit big. So I'm going to trim this down. Could always use this one. Now let's trim this one down. So depending on how your DSP has been cut, depends on what drawers you use. This is where you need to be a little bit creative. So those are my three drawers. So that's my trimmer for the moment. I don't need that for the moment. So in theory, that's my bottom area, that's the next drawer, and that's my top drawer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick on my handles. Okay. I'm going to take my top drawer here. Remember that the grey bit is at the bottom. And I'm just put that on so that it's roughly in the centre. Like that. So that's the top part of my toolbox. Okay. So now I'm ready for my card base. So bring your card base in. A nice crease. You'll probably use a bone folder on yours. and then layer on your pieces of DSP. Okay. Lovely. Now my toolbox is obviously not as deep as this, but if you wanted to make it a little bit taller, you just need to separate your drawers a little bit. I'm going to put some dimensionals along the bottom of this. I'm using black dimensionals again. Is that the bottom? It is the bottom. I probably should have checked that first. So that's my first drawer. So I'm going to not put that on the bottom of the card. I'm going to just raise it up ever so slightly. And that's going to give us a little bit of gap here now. I probably should have put some dimensionals along that side. So let's just put a little one in there. And a little one in here. And this card has been sort of cased. I've got the idea of this card from the catalogue actually. I'll take this piece off here. Turn it over. And put that along there. And put me a little dimension, a little gap. I'm just filling in my gaps, and I'm going to put one along the side as well. Right, so this one, I'm going to leave myself probably 1/2 centimetre's gap and put that one on. And then the same with this one. Now with this one, you're not going to have anything in the top, so you can just put your dimensional along the centre. Okay. So that can just get stuck on there like so. I'm leaving myself again about 1/2 centimetre's gap. Perfect. So there I've got my little drawers that I can tuck my tools in behind. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my pile of tools. Remember these that I cut out in the last video, or for the last video? This is where these come in handy. So I'm going to put these inside. Let's put that one in there. So I've got a saw as well. So this saw here, trim that off a little bit. That's it. Put my saw in, because all the sharp bits and the heavy bits are going to be in the bottom drawer, aren't they? Like so. And then the rest of my tools I can sort of put in the top. So let's have a look, see what I've got. I need something that's not necessarily red, but I don't think I'm going to get away with that. So let's grab me, cut that in half. Let's have these. If they're not quite short enough, just trim them off. And then I want something that's probably yellow. I do with a screwdriver, but I don't think I have one of those. What's this? But it's red again. Oh, there's a screwdriver. I mean, it's yellow. Let's see if we've got anything blue. I might just quickly cut something out. Here, here's one. Let's cut this out. Now, when I cut my tools out, I'd already cut some out of that sheet and used on my original card, so you will have enough. I'm just being really fussy. I mean, this would be fab just as a card on its own, but we're going to add a little bit more detail inside the There, that's just what I need. Let's cut off the bottom there. Perfect. So that's a nice arrangement of colour there now. So now let's put all of those back over this side for later. And then I've got my sentiment on the front. You're the most awesome. So I'm stamping that with Memento ink. Stamping it in black. I'm just bringing in my stamping sheet. You're the most awesome. That's being in the middle. So. And then before I stick it down, I'm going to draw me just a little line around the edge. So that's going to get stuck on. I'm going to use dimensionals for that as well. And then I've got one more tool to put on, and it needs to be a tool that I've not yet used. I've got a screwdriver here, so that's perfect. Although I'm now concerned about that yellow, so I'm going to put this one on. Yellow and yellow. There we go. So that is the front of the card. Okay, so perfect card on its own. We don't really need to do a lot in the middle, but we're going to add a wow. So here you have your piece of white card. I'm going to give that a nice score, and I'm going to stick this in. Watch how I do this. So I'm going to add my glue to one side, open my card, line it up so that it's in the middle and the crease is pressed against the crease of the card. Okay. And then I want to close that down and then close the card. Okay. So that means you've then got that stuck to both sides and it's nice and simple. Now, I'm going to build the toolbox. So put that to one side, and you want to use these two little pieces, and you want your trimmer because you need to do some score lines. Okay. So these are 5 centimeters long, and I'm going to do 3 score lines, and they're the same on each piece. So I'm going to start by scoring at 1 centimeter, at 2.5 centimeters, and at 4 centimeters. Okay. Like so. Do the same on both, so I'll just repeat that again. So that's 1 centimeter, 2.5 centimeters, and 4 centimeters. So once you've done that, you can pop that to one side, your trimmer to one side, and you want to score all of these lines. Doesn't matter which way you score them at this stage, just get the score, just get them nice and creased. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to create a W. And what I mean by a W is you want to create that. Okay. So this is where the fun happens. You want to stick this to that end of there. Now, the best thing that I found that works with this is a tape runner. So I've added my tape there, and I want to stick it to the underneath side of that piece. Okay, so you're creating your little tool, your little toolbox. Do the same with this side. Okay, so you've now got something that looks like that. And then you want to put the back piece on as well. So close your W's down, put your tape on, and then secure this one to the back. Okay, so you end up having something that looks like that. All right. So what you're now going to do is you're going to stick that to the back of your card. I would use something like double-sided or a tape runner for this because you want it to be quite secure. You want to stick it in the middle, like so. Okay, so it's now starting to look like a pop-up card. I'm just going to open this one. You want to put your handle in. Now I'm going to put my handle in against the back. So put a little bit of wet glue there and there. And then I'm going to push that inside there and hold it and do the same that side. Okay. So there is your little toolbox. Now you want to get all your tools. And perhaps we should have done this first, but we are where we are now. You want to get all your tools, and you're now going to put all your tools in your toolbox. So it's a lot more straightforward than it looks. Probably should have done this before, but we are where we are. Things that you think are going to be too tall, just trim them down. Spanners. Spanners are always good to cut down, actually. No, it's probably quite dangerous to have a saw in a toolbox, so we won't add that. Let's have another brush over here. And I think I'm running out now of things, so I've got a handle here. Let's put this handle in. And there we have our toolbox. Now I have added in a tape measure on mine. So let's just quickly cut a tape measure out. stick and tape measure on the front. And then the last thing I've got to do is to stamp my Happy Father's Day sentiment. But I'm going to leave that off actually, because I think I'm going to have this as a birthday card for my husband. And there we have it. That is the fifth and final card, all finished. I'll pop them there. I'll bring the rest back in so you can see them. So do let me know which one is your favourite from the set. Just trying to get these. We don't want two of those in, do you? To get these in. I think my favourite is the apron and the square card, but do let me know which one you like the best in the comments. As I mentioned at the beginning, everything I've used is available to purchase from my online store. If you have any comments or questions or want to get in touch, my contact details are below. February's card cost will go on sale in the next few days, and that's going to be using the hot air balloons. Can't remember what it's called now for the life of me, but if you wanted to find out more information, do get yourself added to my newsletter, and the details for that are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you've seen, do hit subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.